Hello everyone, this is Zebo and welcome back to another Journey to Grandmaster's video. So the new season, Thorns of Devotion, is finally here, and in today's video we'll be breaking down all the new features as well as sharing some essential tips and tricks to get you started on the right foot in Season 5. Without further ado, let us start today's video. Kicking things off, we have the brand new Soul Pact feature, which replaces the old factional talent system. So under the Soul Pact feature, a powerful Fantimo will be summoned simply by bringing 3 heroes of the same faction into battle. This summon then grants your entire team a significant stat boost as well as a unique set of factional based skills on each individual Fantimo. The Fantimos can also grow stronger as we level them up with the Phantom Catalyst to unlock even more devastating skills as well as more stats onto them. For this part, we'll quickly introduce each of the Fantimos as well as what they can do. Firstly, the Light Barrel Fantimo Tasio is a dedicated support unit that excels at buffing and keeping your team alive. Instead of normal attacks, Tasio automatically heals the weakest ally, providing consistent sustain, and its ultimate unleashes a burst of AoE damage while simultaneously equalizing the HP ratios of all your heroes, instantaneously bringing everyone back to health. As he levels up further, you'll also unlock more powerful buffing skills for the team. The second Fantimo, Wildest Fantimo Snow Stomper, is a control and burst damage based unit. Its ultimate unleashes massive snowstorm to deal AoE damage while reducing the haste of the enemy, and he's also able to debuff the defenses of the enemy while dealing additional true damage with the second skill. As he levels up, he'll unlock even more powerful control and debuff skills to aid your team in battle. The Mauler Fantimo, Lone Gaze, is a unit that excels at both dealing damage and chasing down weakened enemies. His ultimate, Phantom Pact, summons a pack of wolves to deal massive damage while granting Lone Gaze a massive boost to his own damage output. He's also able to pursue and pin down the enemy, and as he levels up, he'll unlock more powerful buffs to also increase the offensive prowess of your entire team. The Graveborn Fantimo, Grim Executioner, is a crowd control tank. This unit becomes stationary in place while granting massive damage reduction to tank battle, and in this state, he can cast his ultimate to actively pull the enemies towards him, taunting them and granting himself a massive shield to become a better tank. As he levels up, he also reduces the enemy's vitality and also steals their defenses to make him even tankier to give you even more dominance on the battlefield. Last but not least, we have the Celestial Hypergene Fantimo, Illusia. Illusia is a heavily damage based unit that is able to summon barrage of meteors to deal massive AoE damage, and she can also teleport directly to the densest group of enemies to unleash damage into all of them. As she levels up, she becomes even more potent with increased damage potential and the unique ability to transform enemies into cats for crowd control. That's it for the Fantimo, and let us move on to the other new features. And in this artifact introduction portion, we'll talk about the new artifacts that you're able to access in the early game, artifacts which are useful for progression, as well as which one of them is better for the PvP side. So starting off in the early game, we'll be receiving the Sovereign spell as the very first artifact, and then followed by the Divine Favor and the Blood Moon spell for the 3 starting artifact. So out of these 3 starting artifacts, the best one in terms of the Dream Realm side would be the Blood Moon spell with the buffing capability that is able to offer for your team to increase your damage output. The Sovereign spell in certain scenarios can be really good to give you additional sustain should you need that heal against the damage output of the boss, and the Divine Favor spell is the best amongst the 3 starting artifacts to use for the PvP side because of the massive buff that is able to provide for the 2 rearmost allies, giving you some insane combo synergies as well as a good buff for your carries to come online faster. The 4th artifact showcased right here, Growth Thread spell, is an artifact which you'll be able to get as you progress further in the season milestone reward, and this artifact behaves similarly to the Starshot spell as it activates its own ability after a certain amount of ultimate cast by the allies. Since AFK stage pushing is one of the key parts for progression, in this part of the video we'll discuss about some top tier AFK stage pushing teams that you can use to push through the different stages. So for the first team, we have the most old school and easily accessible AFK stage team you can form, which is the OD Mauler Core. So this team over here relies on Odie, Coco as well as Smokey as the core of the team. With the defensive prowess of Coco, Smokey as well as the twins, we are able to survive better and tank with Resto on the front line while safely outputting damage with Odie to proc the insta-kill and damage overtime onto the enemies. The addition of Starshot spell gives us the additional AoE damage needed as we go through our skill cycle, as you guys can see on screen right here, and this makes for the cheapest and most potent damage based team in AFK stage pushing in the early game. Next up, we showcase the Wilders based team. So this team archetype bases around the Iron Armor's control core, as this 2 unit is able to do damage while holding the enemy in place. And then we slot in a whole bunch of other alternative good Wilders unit for AFK stage pushing based on the situation that we are in. So you can use Pheromorph for the likes of true damage as well as anti-heal, Valeria for more stat stealing power, debuff and heal in the team, Arden for even more control, Brian for the Lily May negation, and many other Wilders character based on the situation that you are in. Speaking about the Iron Armor's combo, there's also the more control-centric team variant, which includes the likes of control units like Lucy, Tasi as well as Arden, as we hold the enemy in place while dealing damage at the same time, and eventually wither the opponent down with control and damage from our units as well as the Starshot spell. So this team variant is much stronger against team archetypes that are a lot more hard-hitting, as you hold the enemy in place to prevent them from doing anything and then just bring them down with the raw damage of the team itself. And the 2 new units to be released with the Season 5 patch are Perseus as well as Alice. So we had the opportunity to test this unit in a Pioneer server, and in this part we'll describe about what they do as well as discuss about where they excel at with regards to the Pioneer server testing. So first up we have Perseus, the chosen champion. Perseus has the ability to increase the amount of temporary buff that he gets from the other ally sources, and this makes him a really powerful hyper carry buff target. So he excels in PvP, where you can throw a whole bunch of buff onto this unit, and when you combine that with his own ability to buff up himself and also recover massive amount of HP, Perseus is an amazing hyper carry unit that is able to survive really well and deal a whole bunch of damage to the enemies with the enhanced buff ability. And on the other hand, Alice is an amazing buffer type carry with elusive skill set as well as the ability to deal massive damage. So Alice over here has a massive damage ultimate with the ability to buff up another ally with the guiding light ability. So the buff ally will get enhanced abilities in the form of extended range as well as damage output, and also the ability to target the marked enemy that Alice marked at the start of the battlefield. This ability also allows the ally to become invincible, unaffected as well as steadfast when they take fatal blow, and this makes Alice a really good buffer as well as a damage dealer when you combine her skill set together. And to conclude, Season 5 will also be receiving a Homestead update, increasing the max level from level 10 to level 20, while introducing a whole bunch of brand new features such as the Photog features as well as new cards and recipes. And some of the older characters will also be returning in the raid up, as you can get access to them through their returning raid up, starting off with Pheromorph as well as Lawson. So that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys have fun progressing through Season 5, and I'll see you guys again in the next Journey to Grandmaster's video. Bye guys!